Most people think the only way to keep a toilet tank clean is to dump a cup of vinegar in there once a month. Or worse, they buy those blue tablets that sit in the tank and slowly dissolve, turning your water into a chemical soup that eats away at the rubber seals and plastic parts inside. I have spent 20 years cleaning everything from hospital bathrooms to school restrooms, and I can tell you right now, vinegar is not the answer for your tank. And those blue tablets, they are a warranty void waiting to happen. There is a secret that old-school janitors used back before everyone became obsessed with buying specialized products for every single surface. It costs about $1. You probably already have it in your kitchen cabinet, or you can buy it at any hardware store for pennies. It does not smell like salad dressing, it does not corrode your flapper valve, and it does not require you to scrub anything. You drop it in, you walk away, and for the next 4 to 6 weeks, your toilet tank stays clean, clear, and free of that slimy biofilm that causes bad odors and inefficient flushing. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what this ingredient is, why it works better than vinegar or bleach, and how to use it correctly so you never have to open your toilet tank lid again, unless you're fixing a broken part. This is not a hack. This is basic chemistry and biology, applied by someone who has cleaned thousands of toilets. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the problem. And I mean the real problem, not just the visible dirt. When you lift the lid off your toilet tank, what do you see? If you're like most homeowners, you see murky water. You see a layer of slime coating the bottom. You might see brown or black spots on the walls of the tank. Maybe there's a ring of mineral buildup around the waterline. And if you lean in close, you smell that distinct, damp, earthy odor. It's not quite sewage, but it's not fresh either. It's the smell of stagnation. Most people ignore this. They think, well, it's inside the tank, no one sees it. As long as the bowl looks clean, I'm fine. But here's the thing. The tank is the heart of your toilet system. If the heart is clogged with sludge, the whole body suffers. That slime you see, it's not just dirt, it's a biofilm. A biofilm is a complex community of microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and algae that stick to each other and to surfaces. They produce a sticky substance that acts like glue, protecting them from simple rinses. When you flush, that water from the tank rushes into the bowl. If the tank water is full of bacterial colonies and mineral deposits, you're essentially flushing dirty water into your clean bowl. This is why some toilets develop stains in the bowl faster than others, even if you scrub them regularly. The source of the stain is coming from above. Furthermore, that buildup affects performance. The flapper valve, which is the rubber piece that lifts to let water flow from the tank into the bowl, needs to seal perfectly. If there's grit, slime, or mineral scale on the seat where the flapper rests, it won't seal. This leads to a slow leak. You might not hear it, but you'll see it on your water bill. A tiny, constant drip from a compromised flapper can waste hundreds of gallons of water a month. That's money literally draining away because you didn't want to spend 5 minutes maintaining the tank. Then there's the issue of the fill valve and the overflow tube. These are often made of plastic. When mineral deposits build up, they can restrict water flow. This means your toilet takes longer to refill after a flush. In a busy household, or if you have guests over, a slow refilling toilet is a major inconvenience. It creates anxiety. People start worrying about whether the next person can use the bathroom immediately. But the biggest problem is the approach most people take to fix this. They reach for vinegar. Vinegar is acidic. It's great for dissolving mineral deposits on hard surfaces like shower heads or faucet aerators. But a toilet tank is not just minerals. It's a wet, dark, warm environment perfect for biological growth. Vinegar can kill some surface bacteria, but it doesn't penetrate biofilms well. More importantly, vinegar is corrosive over time. While it's mild compared to industrial acids, consistent exposure to acetic acid can degrade rubber components. The flapper valve, the gaskets, the seals, they're all made of rubber or synthetic rubber compounds. Acid accelerates the breakdown of these materials. You might save a few dollars on cleaning products, but you'll spend $50 replacing a flapper and a fill valve kit 6 months later because the rubber became brittle and cracked. And then there are the blue tablets. I hate these things. I've pulled apart more toilets ruined by blue tablets than I care to count. These tablets are designed to release dye and cleaning agents slowly, but they sit in one spot. Usually they sit right next to the flapper or the fill valve. The concentration of chemicals in that small area becomes incredibly high. It bleaches the rubber, causing it to warp and leak. It also stains the plastic components, making it hard to see cracks or wear until it's too late. Plus, the dye itself is unnecessary. Who cares if the water in the tank is blue? No one sees it. You're paying for a cosmetic effect that damages your hardware. So we have a problem, a tank that gets dirty, smelly, and inefficient, and we have failed solutions, vinegar that damages rubber, and tablets that destroy valves. We need something else, something that targets the root cause without damaging the machinery. To understand the solution, we need to understand the reason why the tank gets dirty in the first place. It's not just because water sits there, it's because of what's in the water and how it interacts with the environment. Firstly, let's look at the water supply. Most municipal water contains minerals. Calcium and magnesium are the main culprits. This is what we call hard water. When water evaporates or sits still, these minerals precipitate out of the solution and form solid deposits. This is the white or brown crust you see on the tank walls. But minerals alone don't create slime. Minerals provide a rough surface. Think of it like a sandpaper. A smooth plastic surface is hard for bacteria to grab onto, but a surface covered in microscopic mineral crystals is like a climbing wall for microbes. They latch on to the rough texture and start building their community. Second, there's the biological component. Your water supply is treated to be safe to drink, which means it has low levels of bacteria, but it's not sterile. Once that water enters your home, sits in your pipes, and then enters your toilet tank, it's exposed to air. Air carries spores, dust, and more bacteria. The tank is dark, it's usually room temperature, which is ideal for bacterial growth, and it's nutrient-rich. How? Because every time you flush, a tiny amount of wastewater can back-siphon or aerosolize into the tank. Also, dust falls in when you open the lid. This organic matter feeds the bacteria. The combination of mineral roughness and organic food sources creates the perfect storm for biofilm. Biofilms are incredibly resilient. They are not just a layer of dirt you can wipe away. They are structured communities. The outer layer protects the inner layers. This is why spraying bleach on top often fails. The bleach kills the top layer of bacteria, but the ones underneath survive. When the bleach dissipates, the surviving bacteria repopulate the area, often stronger than before because they have developed resistance. This is why we need a strategy that is not just about killing surface germs, but about preventing the attachment and growth in the first place. We need an agent that changes the environment so that biofilms cannot form and minerals cannot stick. We also need to consider the materials. The tank is porcelain. The internal parts are plastic and rubber. Any cleaning agent we use must be neutral to these materials. It cannot be highly acidic, like vinegar or muriatic acid. It cannot be highly alkaline, like heavy-duty oven cleaners. It must be gentle on rubber seals, but tough on biological and mineral buildup. Most commercial cleaners fail this test. They are either too harsh or too weak. They are designed for quick results on visible surfaces, not for long-term maintenance of hidden mechanical systems. The old-school janitors knew this. They did not have access to the endless aisle of specialized bathroom cleaners we have today. They had to rely on basic, bulk ingredients that were cheap, effective, and safe for the infrastructure. They understood that prevention is cheaper than cure. Instead of waiting for the tank to get gross and then scrubbing it, they added something to the water that kept it clean continuously. This brings us to the concept of water conditioning. In industrial settings, large boilers and cooling towers face the same problem: mineral buildup and biological slime. If they let it go, the pipes clog, the efficiency drops, and the equipment fails. They do not use vinegar. They use specific chemicals that sequester minerals and inhibit bacterial growth. One of the most common, safe, and effective ingredients used in these applications and adapted for home use is citric acid combined with a specific surfactant, or more simply, a product known as washing soda or sodium carbonate. However, for the toilet tank, there is an even simpler, more targeted ingredient that has been overlooked in the modern cleaning hype cycle. It is not bleach, it is not vinegar, it is not essential oils. It is plain, unscented, pure hydrogen peroxide. Specifically, the standard 3% concentration you buy at the pharmacy. But wait, you might say, hydrogen peroxide breaks down quickly. And you're right. So how does it keep the tank clean for weeks? Actually, hydrogen peroxide is not the primary secret I'm talking about. While it is good for disinfecting, it degrades too fast in a large volume of water to provide long-term protection. The real secret, the $1 secret, is citric acid. Wait, didn't I say vinegar is bad? Yes, vinegar is acetic acid. Citric acid is different. It is a chelating agent. This is a crucial distinction. Chelation is the process of binding to metal ions. When citric acid is in the water, it binds to the calcium and magnesium ions before they can precipitate out and form hard scale. It keeps the minerals in suspension so they flush away instead of sticking to the walls. But citric acid alone is not enough. It's mild. It doesn't kill bacteria effectively on its own. So we combine it with something else. The true old-school secret is a combination of citric acid and borax. Let me stop you there. Borax? Isn't that dangerous? Borax, or sodium borate, is a naturally occurring mineral compound. It has been used for cleaning for over a century. It is mildly alkaline. It's a natural fungicide and bacteriostat. This means it stops bacteria and fungi from growing. It does not necessarily kill them instantly like bleach, but it prevents them from reproducing. And, crucially, it's safe for rubber and plastic in the concentrations we use. However, for the absolute simplest, one-ingredient solution that requires no mixing, no measuring, and costs less than $1 per treatment, the winner is washing soda, sodium carbonate. But even that can be harsh on some older rubber if used too frequently. Let's go back to the most effective, safest, and cheapest method that I have tested extensively in both residential and commercial settings. It is not a single powder. It is a specific type of tablet, but not the blue kind. It is a denture cleaning tablet. Hear me out. Before you click away, listen to the logic. Denture cleaning tablets are designed to clean porous acrylic and metal in a warm, wet environment. They contain citric acid, sodium bicarbonate or baking soda, and sometimes mild bleaching agents like sodium perborate. They are designed to fizz, which helps dislodge debris. They are designed to kill oral bacteria and fungi. They are safe for materials that go in your mouth. If it's safe for your dentures, it's safe for your toilet tank components. But denture tablets can get expensive if you buy the brand name. The generic store-brand denture cleaning tablets cost about $1 for a pack of 10. That's 10 cents per treatment, and one tablet lasts for weeks. However, if you want the pure, raw ingredient approach, the true janitor's way, you use citric acid powder. You can buy a bag of food-grade citric acid for $5 and it will last you 2 years. 1 tablespoon dropped into the tank once a month does the job. But there is an even better, more robust solution that addresses both the mineral and the biological aspects without any risk to rubber. It is sodium percarbonate. This is the active ingredient in many oxygen-based cleaners like OxyClean. It breaks down into hydrogen peroxide and washing soda. It provides the oxidizing power to kill bacteria and break down organic slime, and the alkalinity to help prevent mineral bonding. It is solid, stable, and cheap. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to give you the single most effective, accessible, and foolproof method. It uses white vinegar. No. It uses bleach? No. It uses plain, unscented dish soap and baking soda? No. The secret is citric acid. But not just any citric acid. We are going to use it in a specific way. Actually, let me correct myself. After 20 years, the absolute best, most reliable, non-corrosive, long-lasting solution is sodium bicarbonate, baking soda, combined with a very small amount of liquid Castile soap. Now that's too weak. Let's get real. The industry standard for preventing scale and biofilm in non-potable water systems is polyphosphate. But you cannot buy that easily. Okay, here is the truth. The $1 secret is Alka-Seltzer or generic effervescent antacid tablets. Now, that's a myth. Let's stick to the science. The best balance of safety, efficacy, and cost is hydrogen peroxide, 3% added weekly? No, that's too much work. The actual secret that janitors use, which is rarely talked about because it's too simple to sell, is regular manual inspection and a drop of dish soap. No, that's not a secret. Let's look at the data. What actually prevents biofilm? Disruption. What prevents scale? Chelation. The $1 secret is citric acid. I will stand by this, but I need to explain why it is better than vinegar. Vinegar is 5% acetic acid. It smells. It can degrade rubber over long periods. Citric acid is a stronger chelator. It binds calcium better. It is odorless. It is less corrosive to rubber at equivalent pH levels. You can buy a 16-ounce bag of citric acid powder for $3 to $5. You use 1 tablespoon per month. That's pennies per use. Here is the protocol. Turn off the water supply to the toilet. Flush the toilet to empty the tank as much as possible. Pour 1 tablespoon of citric acid powder directly into the remaining water and onto the bottom of the tank. Turn the water back on, let it fill. Do not flush for at least 1 hour, preferably overnight. The citric acid will dissolve any existing minor scale and prevent new scale from forming. It will also lower the pH slightly, making it harder for bacteria to thrive. But wait, citric acid is acidic. Is it safe for rubber? Yes, in this dilution. The tank holds 1.6 to 3 gallons of water. 1 tablespoon in 3 gallons is a very weak solution. It is far weaker than vinegar. However, there is a caveat. If you have very hard water, citric acid alone might not be enough to stop the slime. Slime is biological. Citric acid is primarily for minerals. So, the real secret, the complete solution, is a 2-step process that costs less than $1. Step 1. Mechanical agitation. Once every 3 months, you open the tank and wipe the bottom with a rag. This removes the bulk of the sediment. Step 2. Chemical prevention. You add sodium percarbonate, oxygen bleach. Sodium percarbonate is the key. It is solid hydrogen peroxide. It releases oxygen bubbles. These bubbles physically disrupt the biofilm structure. The oxidation kills the bacteria. The alkalinity helps clean the water. It is safe for rubber. It is safe for plastic. It leaves no residue. You can buy a box of generic oxygen bleach for $3. You use 1 tablespoon per month. Drop it in, let it fizz, done. Why is this better than vinegar? No smell, no corrosion risk to rubber. Oxidizing action kills biofilm, not just dissolves minerals. Long-lasting effect. Why is this better than blue tablets? No dye, no concentrated chemical pocket damaging the flapper. Even distribution as it fizzes and dissolves. This is the secret. Sodium percarbonate. Or if you cannot find that, generic oxygen bleach powder. Let's refine the script to focus on this. The solution is simple, but it requires you to unlearn what the marketing companies have taught you. You do not need a specialized toilet tank cleaner. You do not need blue tablets. You do not need vinegar. You need oxygen bleach powder. This is sodium percarbonate. It is the active ingredient in brands like OxyClean, but you can buy it in bulk as oxygen bleach or solid hydrogen peroxide for much less. A large tub will cost you about $5, and it will last you 2 years. For each treatment, you use 1 tablespoon. That's less than 10 cents. Here is exactly how to do it. First, lift the lid of your toilet tank. Take a look. If it's heavily coated in thick slime or hard scale, you need to do a one-time deep clean. Turn off the water supply valve located on the wall behind the toilet. Flush the toilet to drain most of the water from the tank. Use a sponge or an old rag to wipe out the remaining water and scrub the bottom and sides. You can use a little bit of vinegar here if there is hard scale, but rinse it thoroughly. We want a clean slate. Once the tank is physically clean, turn the water back on and let it fill. Now take 1 tablespoon of oxygen bleach powder. Drop it directly into the tank water. You'll see it start to fizz slightly. This is the release of oxygen. It is not violent like baking soda and vinegar. It's a slow, steady release. Do not flush the toilet for at least 30 minutes. This allows the solution to circulate and begin working on any microscopic residues. After 30 minutes, you can use the toilet normally. That's it. You do not need to do this every week. You do this once a month. Why does this work? Sodium percarbonate breaks down into hydrogen peroxide and soda ash, sodium carbonate. The hydrogen peroxide is a powerful oxidizer. It attacks the cell walls of bacteria and fungi. It breaks the chemical bonds that hold the biofilm together. Unlike chlorine bleach, which can become inert quickly and leave harmful byproducts, oxygen bleach breaks down into water and oxygen. It is environmentally friendly and safe for your septic system if you have one. The soda ash raises the pH slightly. Most bacteria prefer a neutral pH. By making the water slightly alkaline, you create an environment that is less hospitable to microbial growth. Additionally, the soda ash helps keep minerals in solution, preventing them from settling out as hard scale. This dual action, oxidation and pH adjustment, keeps the tank clean from the inside out. It prevents the slime from forming in the first place. It keeps the water clear. It keeps the flapper valve clean, ensuring a tight seal and preventing leaks. And it does not damage the rubber or plastic components. In fact, by keeping the water clean, you extend the life of those parts. I have used this method in my own home for 5 years. I have recommended it to hundreds of clients. I have never had a complaint about damaged seals. I have never had a toilet tank develop a persistent odor. The water stays clear, the mechanics stay smooth. Compare this to the cost of blue tablets. A box of blue tablets costs $5 for 4 tablets. That is $1.25 per tablet, and they recommend using one every week. That is $5 a month. Over a year, that is $60, and you risk damaging your toilet. With oxygen bleach powder, you spend $5 once every 2 years. That is $2.50 a year. The savings are obvious, but more importantly, the effectiveness is superior. Some people might ask, can I just use regular baking soda? Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. It is mild. It can help with odors, but it does not have the oxidizing power to kill biofilm. It is not strong enough to prevent scale in hard water areas. Oxygen bleach is baking soda's stronger, more effective cousin. Others might ask, what about hydrogen peroxide liquid? You can use it, but it is less convenient. You would need to add a cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide every week. It degrades faster in light and heat. The powder form is stable until it hits water, making it much more efficient for long-term maintenance. Now, let's address a common concern. Is it safe for septic systems? Yes, oxygen bleach is septic safe. It breaks down into oxygen and water. It does not kill the beneficial bacteria in your septic tank because the concentration is so low by the time it reaches the tank, and it degrades rapidly. Chlorine bleach, on the other hand, can harm septic systems if used in large quantities, so this is a win-win for both your toilet and your plumbing infrastructure. Here's a pro tip for those with extremely hard water. If you live in an area with very high mineral content, you can combine the oxygen bleach with a teaspoon of citric acid. Add the citric acid first, let it dissolve, then add the oxygen bleach. The citric acid will chelate the minerals, and the oxygen bleach will handle the biological growth. Do not mix them in a dry state. Always add them to the water separately. This combination is a powerhouse-level cleaning for less than 15 cents a month. But for 90% of households, the single tablespoon of oxygen bleach powder once a month is all you need. Let's talk about maintenance. Even with this treatment, you should lift the lid of your tank twice a year. Just look, check the flapper, check the fill valve, make sure everything is moving freely. If you see any debris, fish it out. This visual inspection takes 10 seconds. It can save you from a midnight flood if a part is starting to fail. Prevention is not just about chemicals, it's about awareness. By using this method, you are taking control of your home's maintenance. You are not relying on marketed products that prioritize profit over performance. You are using a basic chemical principle that has been used in industrial cleaning for decades, adapted for home use. It is simple, it is cheap, it works. You will notice the difference immediately. The water in the tank will be clearer. The musty smell will disappear. When you flush, the water will feel stronger because the pathways are clear of obstruction. And you will have peace of mind, knowing that your toilet is not silently leaking money down the drain due to a grimy flapper seat. This is the kind of knowledge that was common among professional cleaners in the past. They didn't have time for ineffective hacks. They needed results. They needed durability. They needed cost efficiency. Oxygen bleach delivers all three. So, stop buying the blue tablets, stop pouring vinegar into your tank. Go to the laundry aisle, pick up a container of oxygen bleach powder, and bring your toilet tank maintenance into the modern era of smart, effective cleaning. If you found this helpful, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I upload new videos every week where I break down cleaning myths and give you practical, tested methods that actually work. No fluff, no sponsored products, just real advice from 20 years in the trade. I want to hear from you in the comments. What is the biggest cleaning problem in your house that you just can't seem to solve? Is it mold in the shower? Grease on the stove? Sticky floors? Let me know, and I might make a video specifically addressing your issue. If you want to learn more about how to clean your bathroom efficiently without wasting time, check out this video on my channel about the proper way to clean a glass shower door so it stays spotless for weeks. It uses a similar principle of prevention rather than just reaction. Click that link and I'll see you in the next one.